This story that I've submitted to this channel is one that is not very enlightening, or probably I shouldn't say enlightening, but it's probably something that shouldn't have happened. But here goes. This is a story of how my little brother lied and it led to us being taken into foster care. So here goes. It happened a good, what year are we in? We are now in 2020, and this happened like 7 years ago, so that would be 2013 when my little sister was born. In my family, we were four kids. Me, I was 18, my two brothers, 22 and 14 respectively, and my sister, 7. I was pretty happy when I learned that I was about to have a sister back then. However, to my brother, my little brother to be exact, it was a no-no. When our little sister was born, understandably, my parents were there taking care of her all the time. Me and my older brother know that we are old enough to take care of ourselves. My younger brother, however, was pretty jealous when my sister got all the attention from our parents. For me, seeing my sister getting attention of the parents was not a huge deal for me. As I said, I was old enough to understand, and so was my other brother. But for my younger brother, no, he was having none of it. It was almost like an all-out war. A month later, while I was in my class in elementary school, I was there waiting for lunch. 5 minutes goes before the bell rings. I got called into the principal's office. I was never called here that year except for one special day, but I won't get into that right now. So here I am, slowly walking. As I get into the principal's office, there was a woman that I never ever saw before. She worked for some child protection services or something like that, but I never knew that until I actually got older, to my present age of 18. She said that she wanted to go with me and my brother to the hospital. The lady seemed like she worked there. At first I was nervous because, what our parents always tell us, stranger danger. But the principal said that she knows the woman really well. She was a little old, maybe like 45 years old, but she seemed really nice. She took us to the hospital as we waited there for almost 3 goddamn hours. I was in a room with my brother. I was kind of starting to feel concerned about what was going on. When she called me, I was in her office. I walked into her office, rather. I sat there and then she asked me something that made me really confused. She looked at me as a little child and asked me, "Is it true that your father is beating you and your younger brother?" Here I am sitting quite puzzled. Here I am thinking, but our father never ever beats us, never. I was really shocked at first, but I replied with, "No, but our mother lightly beat us with a wooden spoon when we were younger because we were acting like little devils." The lady's mouth dropped, as I thought this is gonna put us in trouble. She then said, "I'm sorry, but I have to put all 3 of you in foster care." I was like saying to myself, holy shit. My mouth dropped. I said it was a misunderstanding, but she didn't want to hear anything else. And my foster parents was like a couple, most of the woman of the couple, that babysitted me when I was a baby. And it was that moment I knew that I won't be seeing my parents for a long time. And this lasted for 3 to 4 months. It was the most depressing period of my life, being snatched from our parents because of my little brother's lie. I had started to hate him then. The first month was the worst. But with the foster mother that I know for years, I was able to pass that depressing moment, but not for a long time. I didn't tell everybody, not even my parents until now, that I had tried to commit suicide by hanging. This isn't really to add more drama to this story, but I just had to say it. I got very depressed. I thought that I would never see my mom and dad and my other siblings again. The day of my supposed death, it was break time. I was in a schoolyard. As I was walking in a small forest, I had a rope in my hand. Yes, you heard me right. I was young and I had a rope in my hand, and everything was ready. I was finally ready to leave this God-forsaken, non-believing world. As I jumped with the rope around my neck, I landed on the ground. I then noticed that the rope was too long and also a little too thin. It was there I stood and realized the rope would have easily have broken. God wanted me to suffer more, I thought. After about 3 weeks in the house, I was told that I'm going to now be with my 2 cousins. I was reborn because I loved spending time with those girls. When I moved into their house, they treated me as if I was just like any other member of the family. I felt really happy with those girls. The problem is still, I hate it when I live in a place that is not my home with my own parents. I kind of felt alone even if I'm with my uncle and aunt. After 4 months, I was finally back with my parents. Woohoo! I felt really good. The nightmare was finally over. Years later, I learned that because of my brother who was jealous of my sister and told everybody in the city that her father was beating us. This is why we were split up. God knows I wanted to beat the hell out of him. I really wanted to beat him to death. But no, my little brother is really cool. Years have passed and we've really kind of outgrown it. But I still kind of hate him. I don't know if it's a good hate or a bad hate, but I still kind of hate him. Because that experience gave me some mental issues. But those mental issues are for another story.